Miss Ratliff is over there as a panelist. So as a guest. So we probably need to move her to.
Do you see where to promote her?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Miss Snyder. Get everybody back in.
You're back. Yay.
And we're back. Okay. Yay, we can see Miss Ratcliffe.
Yeah.
Hey, hey.
And Dr. Wallace.
Let me get Penelope.
And Amari. Hi, welcome everyone who's joining us. We're getting ready to start the open house for health science, Governor's Health Sciences program at Warwick. We will be holding all of our questions till the end. We're hoping to answer some of those questions, but please post your questions in the Q&A. And we'll be calling on you to actually ask those. So if you had a clarifying question to follow up, that you can absolutely do that at that time.
Ms. Marcolini, could you allow Ms. Ratliff to have permission to screen share? When she gets to her part, she wants to be able to share, and it's not allowing me to make her a co-host.
Okay, so I'm going to allow all the panelists. So if you're a panelist, please only screen share if needed. There you go. That way we don't have to wait on anybody to push any buttons, and we can just get started.
Do we see Shy come back in?
Yes, I see her. I'm going to make her a panelist now.
Awesome.
And Dr. Holmes.
All right, it is 6:01.
Okay.
Are we ready to start?
Yes.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our second night of open houses at Warwick High School. This is unprecedented times, and this is, I say, the inaugural event of virtual open houses. So we're excited, and we truly appreciate you giving up your evening to spend some time with us. To look at I have to say, one of the most awesome programs we offer in Newport News Public Schools. I am so jealous because I wish this program was around when I was in high school, because I went off to be a health science major, and this would have been a fantastic foundation for me as I went on for that career. So I'm super excited to welcome everyone tonight. And I hope you really gain some awesome insight into the fantastic program. You're going to get to meet a lot of amazing people. And I can honestly say this, we have the most amazing teachers and staff that really transform your students into beginning health science individuals to definitely career and college oriented health sciences individuals. So I hope you learn a lot. We're super excited to present the information to you, and I'm gonna turn it over to Ms. Snyder. So again, thank you so much for attending, and we hope you gain a lot of insight into this absolutely fantastic program.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm Amanda Snyder. I'm the magnet coordinator at Warwick High School, and I'm super excited to share our awesome Governor's Health Sciences Academy with you tonight. We do have several panelists. You've already heard from Mr. Holler, but Ms. Marcolini is also joining us. She is our instructional technology coach at Warwick, and she is going to be helping us with some of the technology tonight. And then we have our fantastic health science teachers, Dr. Holmes, Dr. Wallace, and Ms. Ratliff. And then we have 4 student panelists that you will hear from later on as well: Penelope, Amari, Shai, and Dylan. And so you're going to hear from all of them later in the presentation. But if you have an interest in the medical field, then we have the right program for you. There are only 9 health sciences academies in the entire state of Virginia, and we're very fortunate that we have the one for Newport News Public Schools right here at Warwick High School. So if you have a dream of going into the health sciences and pursuing a career in the medical field, then we are going to give you the foundational knowledge and skills to really get a jump start on your career. There are hundreds of careers in the health sciences field, and it is a very in-demand field as well, not just in our local region, but in our state and across the country. And of course, as you see on the news, across the globe right now, health professionals are in super high demand. However, oftentimes when students think about health sciences, they think only doctors and nurses. But like I said, there are hundreds of careers in the health sciences field. So to get started, I'm going to play just a brief 1 minute and 30-second video for you all. And I want you to try to see how many health science careers you can pick out in this 1.5-minute video. Because then we're going to talk about the other opportunities that are waiting for you beyond just doctor and nurse. And let me know if there's an issue with any of the sound.
Okay, so let's say you're skateboarding and you lose your balance. You crash. When you come around, you have a terrible headache and you can't move your leg. You think it's broken. As you're lying on the ground, you hear a siren getting louder. In the ambulance, a paramedic gives you emergency care. At the hospital, the first thing you see is the front desk. You're whisked past the admitting clerk and into an exam room. Suddenly, a nurse is at your side, taking your pulse, and a doctor comes in to examine you. Looks like you'll need a CT scan of your head and a few x-rays on that leg. The radiology technician tries to be as gentle as she positions your leg for the x-rays. A radiologist determines you have a concussion and a broken leg. In the operating room, an anesthesiologist makes sure you sleep while a surgeon mends your leg. After surgery, you find yourself tucked into a hospital bed. A nurse brings you pain meds prepared by a pharmacist. A lab technician draws a sample of your blood to make sure you're getting better, and a dietary technician serves you a light meal. The place runs smoothly thanks in part to the maintenance engineer. You're soon back on your feet, all because of your healthcare team.
So if you were able to pinpoint about a dozen different careers in that video, then you are well on your way to understanding all the opportunities within the health sciences cluster. Like I said, a lot of us think just doctor and nurse, but there are so many other medical professionals listed in that short video: a paramedic, the hospital admitting clerk, the radiology technician, the lab technician, all the way down to the maintenance engineer and the dietary technician. Those are often careers that we don't always think about when we think about health sciences, but they all work together as part of the healthcare team to ensure the best health of our patients. So in the Health Sciences Academy, we are trying to prepare students to enter into any career field that they want to go into after they leave us. And we think that we are going to be able to provide you with the courses necessary to really get a jump start on what's waiting for you after high school. In the Health Sciences Academy, we focus on 5 pillars of success, the first of which is going to be academic excellence. So throughout your 4 years in the program, you will take a sequence of courses in a specific career pathway that you choose each year. So each year you have one basically elective class as part of the program. We do expect students to complete that sequence of courses, but we also expect students to maintain a 2.7 GPA or higher in all of their courses overall. We also are going to make sure that students are working towards an advanced diploma and are challenging themselves by taking honors and AP level courses, because we know that in order to be competitive for college and careers after high school, that colleges really want to see that students are taking those rigorous levels of courses and are excelling in them. We also promote the ABCs of science. So anatomy, biology, and chemistry are really the 3 science courses that we stress for all of our students in the health sciences program. Aside from academic excellence, we also focus on experiential learning, and experiential learning is just a fancy way of saying hands-on. And I think that this is really, in addition to the book knowledge that our students gain, this is really the heart of our program, because we want you not to be only to have that academic knowledge, but we want you to be able to apply the knowledge and the skills. So we are very fortunate that we have 2 labs in our building. We have a clinical lab and we have a research lab that our students can go into where they can practice all the things that they are learning in their classes. Our clinical lab is outfitted with hospital beds and mannequins. It's set up like 3 individual hospital rooms, if you will, so that when our students go in there, they really feel like they are in a real healthcare setting. And then our research lab has all types of scientific equipment that our students can utilize when they are doing their experiments through Project Lead the Way in Dr. Wallace's class and some of our other classes. And we also have a Z-Space virtual reality computers that students can utilize to really be able to explore the body further. And we have a brand new Anatomage virtual dissection table that just came in over the summer. And it allows students, again, to kind of dive into the human body, but through a virtual component. So it's super cool. We also have partnerships in the area, thanks to Riverside College of Health Careers, our local colleges and universities, the Medical Careers Institute at ECPI, and the Virginia Living Museum. And all these partners not only donate equipment to us, but they also donate time and they donate experiences to our students to really help bring learning to life for them. And I'm going to show you some pictures later on of our students in action. Obviously, due to the pandemic right now, we can't take advantage of some of those opportunities, but one unique thing that we've been doing this year to try to gain those experiential opportunities is we started a health science speaker series. So on Wednesdays, which is our asynchronous day, students can tune into a health science speaker and learn about different career options in the health sciences field. They've heard from physical therapists, veterinarians. We had athletic trainers speak. We've had college representatives speak to our students. We had a biomedical engineer speak just last Wednesday. So each week it's something different that our students can tune into to, again, get that kind of experiential learning piece. We also want students to earn industry certifications. So at the end of certain courses, our students will take a national standardized assessment of their knowledge and skills for that course. And industry certifications are not only part of career and technical education classes, which health sciences falls under, but industry certifications are also a graduation requirement for the state of Virginia. So our students definitely earn beyond the expected number of industry certifications for graduation. And we also want our students to be well-rounded and we want them to be civic-minded. So we have students complete 200 hours of community service throughout their 4 years in the program, which sounds like a lot, but if you break it down over the 4 years, it's actually quite manageable. And of course, due to the pandemic, we understand that, you know, we have to make some accommodations because not everyone can go out and serve in their community right now. So we have some flexibility with what our students can do to earn those community service hours. But by focusing on the academic excellence and the experiential learning and the industry certifications and community service, we really feel like our students leave us college, career, and citizen ready to take on the field of health sciences. And for all of their hard work in the program, they receive a magnet seal on their diploma. And then they also are awarded a stole to wear at graduation. So here you can see some of our former graduates with their Governor's Health Sciences stole that they're wearing, which is the white stole they have around their neck. So in the program, when students are maintaining their GPA, maintaining the behavior expectations, completing their sequence of courses, earning the industry certifications, and completing the community service hours, that all leads up to this culmination of being able to show that you are a completer of the program at graduation. So when you apply for the Health Sciences program on the Magnet application, you have to choose one of these program strands. So we're going to break these down for you a little bit more. Therapeutic services is all about providing direct patient treatment and care. It is the field that most of us are familiar with because, again, when we think doctor and nurse, we're thinking of people who provide direct patient care. But emergency medical technicians, even massage therapists, all fall under that therapeutic services pathway. But it's not the only pathway. We also have diagnostic services, which is focused on using tests to aid in the detection and diagnosis and treatment of different diseases. So if you're interested in working in a more of a laboratory setting and examining blood, bodily fluids, tissues, x-rays, things like that to detect what's going on inside the body, then diagnostic services would be the place for you. Health informatics and support services focuses on managing and assisting with all the patient data and insurance information and making sure that all that patient data and information is kept secure and kept private. So if you are interested in working on that side of the field, think of careers like a medical librarian, a medical transcriptionist, things like that fall under the health informatics and support services strand, healthcare administrators, and so forth. Then our last strand is biotechnology research and development. And this strand focuses on discovering new treatments and medical technologies to improve human health. So if you like to be on the cutting edge, if you like research and scientific investigation, and you want to use those skills to help problem solve health problems, then that is the field for you. So in therapeutic services, you would take a sequence of courses throughout your 4 years. And you can see those on the bottom of your screen here. The first class is Introduction to Health and Medical Science. And that really is a class that gives you an overview of the history of medicine. You also learn about the wide variety of careers in the healthcare setting in that class. You delve into the human body systems and understand their functions. And you also go into basic first aid and CPR. And then in 10th grade, you would take medical terminology, and medical terminology is a language class, really. It's the language of medicine. So in that class, our students are learning how they combine different root words, prefixes, and suffixes to create medical terms, because that is how medical professionals communicate with one another and document information about a patient, is through the use of medical terminology. Then in 11th and 12th grade, you would break into medical clinical practice 1 and 2, where you'll be covering more of the skills that you see on the top of the screen, where you learn about infection control and nursing assisting skills and basic personal care skills and restorative care. You also see one of our students in practice in our lab. So that's a picture of our clinical lab there with our student in our mannequin, our hospital bed, set up like you would see in a real healthcare facility. And they go in and they practice charting with patients and things of that nature. And you'll hear more about this class from our students and our teachers in just a minute. At the end of the medical clinical practice 2, our students would take the NOCTI Nursing Assisting Industry Certification exam. For diagnostic services, you can see that the first 2 classes are the same as the last strand, that Intro to Health Science and then medical terminology. But then in 11th and 12th grade, you would branch out and you would do medical laboratory technology 1 and 2. And that is where you really get into understanding the laboratory equipment and the systems of measurements and reagents needed to sample bodily fluids and bodily tissues. You also delve into microbiology, understanding immunity and the immune system as well. And students in that strand would take a national certified phlebotomy technician exam at the completion of that medical laboratory technology 2 class. Health informatics and support services, again, those first 2 courses in 9th and 10th grade are the same as the other branches, but then in 11th and 12th grade, you go into health informatics and healthcare information security, where you delve into the electronic health record, the history of health information technology, HIPAA issues, how to maintain privacy of the patient's data, and what the ethical implications of maintaining that privacy are, and cybersecurity and things of that nature. And our students in this strand would take the NACHD Health Informatics exam and the Electronic Health Record certification as well. The 4th strand is Biotechnology Research and Development, and this you will see is a totally different sequence of courses. So in this strand, our students take Principles of Biomedical Science in 9th grade, and then Human Body Systems in 10th, Medical Interventions in 11th, and Biomedical Innovation in 12th grade. And this program strand utilizes a program called Project Lead the Way, which is a computer-based and project-driven collaborative curriculum for our students. So they really are learning about the field of medicine through case studies and project-based learning. So in that first picture, you see a mannequin face down on the floor, and it looks like she's thrown up and she's got blood around her. What they are doing is they're looking at that scene of the death of that patient, and they're trying to piece together the clues. But they don't learn what happened to her right away. They assess the situation, and then throughout the course, they put together what they learn about the body systems and infectious diseases and stuff to figure out what happened to Anna Garcia and how she died. So if you like that approach to learning, to learn through projects, then this is going to be a great strand for you. It's very biology based, so you get into genetics and blood typing. You also learn about infection spread and control and public and environmental health concerns as well. And these students will take industry assessments, and those are the Project Lead the Way end of course exams. Outside of our classes, we also have opportunities for our students to gain professional knowledge and skills. One of those ways is through HOSA, which is our Future Health Professionals organization. And 2 of our panelists tonight are former and current HOSA officers. So I'm really excited for you to hear from them a little bit later on. But HOSA is an after-school club for future health professionals that focuses on leadership development, but also providing students with additional knowledge and skills around all health science topics. So think of this as like a professional organization that students can be part of as students in high school. Then, as I mentioned, our experiential learning opportunities earlier. So we're very fortunate that we are very close to the Living Museum. And last year, our students were able to go there for 3 different learning experiences. One that focused on blood against bacteria. So they were examining the blue blood of the horseshoe crab and what implications it has in the medical field for the treatment of human patients. Then they also participated in a patient zero lab, where you had to try to figure out who was the original spreader of a contagious disease or virus, much like what's going on with the coronavirus right now. So very timely to try to track down that first person with that virus. And then the last one was a fish guts lab, where students actually got to dissect a fish and apply all their knowledge of medical terminology to labeling the different parts of the fish. We also were very fortunate to have some really cool experiential opportunities for our students last year. Dr. Mix, who is the Assistant Surgeon General in the United States, was able to come and speak to all of our students. She did a fantastic job of telling them about her career, what steered her towards her career, and inspiring our students to really pursue the health sciences. We also took a group of students to witness an open heart surgery at the Inova Heart Institute in Northern Virginia last year. So they actually look down over an operating room and see a live open heart surgery, which is really super unique and cool. And then we've had our students who go out and they participate in different schools' career days. They participate in community events to really showcase their knowledge and skills. So we want our students to be actively demonstrating all the time the knowledge and skills that they're gaining from our program. So now I'm going to turn it over to our students and let you hear from them. And they're going to tell you a little bit about themselves and their experiences in the program. So Amari, if you don't mind going first, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hi, my name is Amari Holloway. I'm a senior now, and I'm currently in medical clinical practice 2. And my journey through, well, originally I didn't plan to go to Warwick. I planned to go to Woodside for band, but when they did visit my school and tell me about how they did have a medical lab and stuff, that interested me. So I decided to go through the therapeutic route. And when I first enrolled from like my 9th and 10th grade year, I really just learned the basics like of medical and how it progressed through history. And in like 10th grade, we learned about like medical terminology, like what Ms. Snyder said, which is like word parts. And like, for example, like fibro, meaning fiber, myo, meaning like muscle, and algia, meaning pain. So fibromyalgia, meaning muscle pain of the fibers. And we now, and getting into medical clinical 1 and 2, we just learn how to take care of patients as a CNA. And if you guys aren't like into like taking like tests, like paper pencil, we also do evaluations, and where we just like go into the lab and your teacher will evaluate you on what you have learned. So, and one thing that I do remember was when we had to put on gloves and we submerged our hands in like ketchup, and we had to take off our gloves properly and without getting any of the ketchup and stuff on our hands. So it's really, you don't have to worry about just like being bored in class, because you like dress up in your scrubs, go inside the lab, and just learn about other stuff other than just like paper and pencil. And even if you are not really interested in health sciences, I do recommend that you do go into it, because it is going through the program. It'll like really like teach yourself on how, if it's really for you.
Thank you,
And
Amari. Go ahead.
oh, and while I am in medical program, I'm also in pharmacy tech at New Horizons, because I do find out like I not only like am interested in taking care of the patients, but I'm also interested in medicine. So unfortunately, due to COVID, I haven't really gotten able to go into the like labs and like mix different medications. But as of right now, we're just learning like different, how to convert from different measuring systems and like all the medication names. It's like 200 different medications. And as Ms. Snyder said earlier about HOSA, it's an after school program, and it's really just, it lets you like go out of the school and learn about different things. Because last year we visited the Virginia Wesleyan University, and we talked to a pharmacist from Virginia Commonwealth University. And we just talked about how like the problems in the healthcare system, or like how there's like hot spots in like Richmond, but there isn't enough hospital to take care of the patients. And we just like talked about how we are going to like, how us going into the medical system, how we can help get care to people who need it the most. But it's not only that, but you also get to talk to different people from all across the region and just like converse. And we were going to have like a competition in March, but due to COVID, we didn't get to do that. But yes, I do recommend that you guys do enroll into this program. It has benefited me so much, and it really just taught me like more about myself and how I really do care for patients.
And Amari, could you share your future goals real quick?
I do I have a lot. I want to be like a nurse. I do going to pharmacy program. I did want to know more about like different medicines, and I do also want to go into the military after I get my degree.
All right, thank you. Shy, you're up next.
Oh, yay. Hello, my name is Shy Banks. I'm a senior this year, and I'm currently completing my final class in the Governor's Health Science Program, which is the Medical Clinical Practice Part 2. In addition to being a student ambassador, I was also a part of the SCA and the FCA, and now I'm a part of the Yearbook Club. Sports and club participation is a great way to get to know people and just to become comfortable in your new surroundings. The Governor's Health Science Program has given me the opportunity to explore different career paths inside the medical field. It was interesting to learn about basic care procedures, from blood pressure readings to learning how to accurately find the pulse points throughout the body. Learning about how the body works in general helped me to understand the importance of taking care of myself and others. Mental health is critical to our physical well-being. So because of the in-depth training and support of my teachers, I've found that the best way I can help people is to focus my attention on the mental health side of wellness. I plan to get my PhD in child psychology in hopes of helping people learn how to understand their feelings and express themselves clearly. The Governor's Health Science Program here at Warwick provided me with a strong foundation to build on. This is a great environment to learn in and to figure out what direction you want to go in. So I really hope that this program will help you find out what you want or don't want to do in life.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Shy. Dylan.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the government's health science program for me, honestly, when I came to work, I didn't really have a plan. Originally, I was just going to go to Heritage because I was interested in STEM. But when I came here, I was automatically put into Dr. Holmes' medical class. And it was something that just came as a second nature. And it got to the point where I'm in class. I don't even have to look at the textbook, and I already know what's on the text. To which are my teachers. But yeah, it's really a great program to get into because, like everyone else said, it really does give you an outlook on the things that you can do. You meet people and you learn things you never really think that you wanted to know, things that you definitely did not want to know. You good? My audio messed up.
Hey, Dylan, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So did you hear everything I said?
Yeah, you were talking about your awesome teacher, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah. At Warwick, I would say the clubs and after-school activities really does help you to also get to know people and kind of build yourself as a student. Because it not only helps you, I say, build relationships in the classroom, but it also helps you build friendships that can translate into other things. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much. All right, and Penelope.
Hello. So I'm a junior. I already had a plan before coming to work, but Heritage was almost like grabbing me with the STEM program because I personally also like stuff that has to deal with engineering. So originally I did not even choose the biomedical strand. I chose diagnostic strand, but they put me in the biomedical strand. And in the beginning, I wanted to be a pediatrician, but then halfway through freshman year, I figured out that I wanted to be a biomedical engineer. And I was also part of a lot of clubs, and I'm still in some clubs. I am also the HOSA secretary. And the clubs that I used to be in were drama and some other ones that I don't remember. And then I am still in robotics, which is also a competitive robotics, and it's also a club. And you can learn a lot of things from there, because if you're also like a tech person that likes to deal with engineering, that could be kind of like your safe zone. And
What are your future goals, Penelope?
my future goals would be to get my PhD in biomedical engineering. And I am still in the thought of minoring in political sciences. So yeah.
Awesome. So as you heard from our students, we have it all at Warwick High School. Beyond just health sciences, we have all the sports and clubs you can imagine. And we have other opportunities for you to get involved and explore other interests that you may have in addition to the health sciences. So we're really a one-stop shop for all of your needs. So thank you, students. Now we're going to transition in to hear from our teachers. So Dr. Wallace, if you would like to start us off.
I think you're muted, Dr. Wallace.
There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Marjorie Grisel Wallace, and those of you at Gildersleeve know my husband, Dr. G. I am the better half of Dr. G, and this is my third year at Warwick High School and teaching in the Governor's School of Health Sciences, and I teach part of the Project Lead the Way program. The first, which is a freshman course or sophomore course, is Principles of Biomedical Sciences. And Project Lead the Way is a project-based program, and it outlines and guides students and through basically a lot of different labs, activities, and programs leading to a big picture type project that you usually have to do. This course is the introductory course, as I said, in the biomedical sciences, and it deals with concepts in biology, medicine, and factors that we start off with a fictional person, and the thing is to find out, what did this person die from? The course basically goes into some of the more common illnesses: diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, sickle cell anemia, and we culminate with infectious diseases. From this, students go on to the next course, which is Human Body Systems. And in Human Body Systems, it builds on what you've learned in the first course in Project Lead the Way, but now we explore communication, power, and movement of the body. And students are taught this through looking at cells, tissue, organ, and organ systems. And if you've just taken that, if you're going to be taking that 8th grade SOL, the things that you learn in middle school transfer over into what you're going to be doing in high school as well as in college. So listen to your science teachers. We go through homeostasis, but here students get more fine skills. They learn to use digital pipettes. We actually do some gel electrophoresis, DNA extraction, dissecting, and we've added suturing to that. The human body system deals more with the brain, the nervous system, and right now we're looking at things like hearing loss. Project Lead the Way was nice enough to also put a new thing in on COVID and looking at pandemics. And a lot of the students are going to be looking next week at how viruses are formed. We're going to be looking at vaccinations, the pros and cons of vaccines, how vaccines are formed, and a lot more dealing with vaccinations. Then it leads to another course, which is called Medical Interventions. And Penelope is one of my students in Medical Interventions. And Medical Interventions, again, builds on the other two courses where students fine-tune their skills using gel electrophoresis and looking at DNA and its importance. They get to do real world things such as going to the National Center of Biotechnology Informatics, which is called the BLAST. And they take the DNA that they've extrapolated, they put their information, their data into this computer base, which is nationwide, and they're able to diagnose. So they learn about differential diagnosis, where they've got a group of patients and they've got to come up with their diagnosis by looking at their signs and symptoms and how they're going to treat their patients. The other course that I teach is the Introduction to Health and Medical Sciences, which is a good basic foundation for just about all the groups. Students start with the history of health and medicine, and then it goes on to teach them about different careers. I don't think students are aware of the myriad of careers that are out there today. Even colleges are offering scholarship in things like epidemiology and epigenetics. But if you've not been exposed to those and you don't know about them, you don't know that those are possibilities as far as future careers. They get that introduction just about in all the courses, especially through Project Lead the Way. And then, as Ms. Snyder also said earlier, on Wednesdays, we usually she's invited a lot of different guest speakers who talk to the students about the careers that they're in. And they have Q&A so students can ask and get answers to their questions live. I'm not going to talk anymore about Intro to Health and Medical Sciences because Dr. Holmes also teaches that and 2 other courses. And he also teaches the culminating course to the Project Lead the Way 3 courses that I've been teaching.
Thank you, Dr. Wallace. So Dr. Holmes.
Good evening, everyone. As Dr. Wallace alluded to, I do teach all sets in the biotechnology pathway. I also teach the first 2 classes that students take in the therapeutic pathway, which would be the Intro to Health Science, as well as your medical terminology class. And as mentioned before, your Intro to Health Science does allow students to learn about all aspects of the healthcare system. We do focus a lot on careers, so students know what options are out there and the different environments that are available that may suit them as a future career. We also learn basic techniques and the development of the basic skills that individuals would need to function appropriately in the healthcare setting. With medical terminology, students are actually learning terms that would be essential to safe patient care. That's sort of your gateway course where medical terminology can lead you to pretty much any type of career and setting that you would need. Students are able to interpret and understand medical records in that class, in addition to being able to communicate appropriately with other healthcare professionals. And as far as the biomedical innovations, that is the capstone for your biotechnology pathway. With Project Lead the Way, students are actually applying knowledge and skills that they've learned in the prior courses to solve various problems with biomedical sciences. So it is very hands-on. Students are actually working together in a project format to develop innovations to current devices or procedures that are actually done in the healthcare field.
Awesome. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that Ms. Ratliff can share her screen. And I forgot to mention, all of our teachers are very unique as well because they have medical backgrounds. They're not just teachers, they are medical professionals first and teachers second. So Dr. Wallace was a general physician, Dr. Holmes was a chiropractor, and Ms. Ratliff is a registered nurse. So Ms. Ratliff.
All right, I wanted to give you guys just a really short visual. I know several of my students in the past get kind of confused or they're lost in the different pathways that are offered. And I want to make sure that the therapeutic pathway sticks in your brain when you're working with that counselor to make those schedules, okay? So my program is titled Medical Clinical Practice, and that's a mouthful, but basically what that translates to is we follow a curriculum that a nursing assistant program follows. So it is a 2-year program. The 3 students that you heard speak, Dylan and Amari and Shai, are all top-notch examples of what our program can produce, and they are my students, and they have been through Dr. Holmes and Dr. Wallace prior to myself, so they definitely set them up and made it easy for me. But I have had the pleasure of having those students for their 2nd year now. So, and that is a huge benefit to me, and hopefully you would be able to see how that's a huge benefit to you to have that same instruction to carry over year after year. So I just wanted to show you in the 1st year what you can expect. And these are some of the things very briefly that you can expect to do in your 1st year. Shai mentioned taking blood pressures and finding correct pulse points and taking apical pressures. So that was maybe 1 or 2 of probably the 8 or 9 different skills labs that we worked on together in the 1st year last year. So there are many, and as many opportunities as I can give my students in that hands-on clinical lab, that's what I'm going to do. I know that you guys try to sign up for the program because it's a little something different, so I aim to please. So that is your 1st year. So you do get into that beginning knowledge of how to take care of others, the right way to take care of others, and you begin that critical thinking process. And let's go this way. 2nd year. Can you expect the 2nd year? And that is what the 3 students that spoke are. They're in their 2nd year. They're seniors. So your 2nd year students, you dive in much deeper. You are probably 85% of the curriculum in your 2nd year is going to be skills based. And I believe Shai also mentioned, or maybe it was Amari, my bad. Amari mentioned that you don't do just paper pencil. So these students have practiced a skill with me enough times. They've performed it in front of me. They have tested, that is their test. They've done that in front of me for a skills evaluation test. So you definitely move away from the same old paper pencil reading test to a very hands-on and observed test. So definitely, I'd love to get you guys in the lab and really just turn on the light, because everyone can be a nurse if they want to, and I believe that with my whole heart, and I love nursing. But even if you find out that you don't want to go into any kind of nursing, you at least get your feet wet, so to speak, and you get that foundational knowledge of healthcare. Because whether your goal is to get a PhD in biomedical engineering or a PhD in pediatric oncology, you have to start at the bottom first, and you have to learn the foundation, and that's what you will come out of this program learning. So again, that is the therapeutic pathway.
Thank you all so much. So now that you've heard all about our program, I'm going to show you how you can apply. It's a very simple application process. You complete the magnet form, and to find the magnet form, you go on the Newport News Public Schools website and you simply search for magnet schools, and it'll bring you up to this page. And the deadline is January the 8th, 2021. So you just have to make sure that you complete the high school online application prior to that. So you click on this link, you type in all your information, you select your first choice and second choice. Your first choice and second choice can be from the same school, or they can be from 2 separate schools. So if you wanted to put down like a first choice of therapeutic services at Warwick, and then a second choice of diagnostic services at Warwick, you are welcome to do that, or you can select 2 different schools. But please make sure that you complete that on time. If you need additional information on the program, please check out our Governor's Health Sciences webpage on the Warwick website. It has loads of information for you. There are videos on there that show our students in action. This video will be posted on there as well as emailed out to all of our participants. And then there's another video on there where I am going through the different courses and options that we have as well. So at this time, I would like to take any questions that we have from our audience.
So I got one question, Ms. Snyder. Did you want to put them through, Ms. Marcolini? I'll let Ms. Marcolini do her technology thing, but I just wanted to again reiterate the fact that we have the best students and teachers at Warwick High School. They are fantastic. What they do for students to prepare them to take on whatever dynamic they want to go into after they leave us in high school, these students are ready to be successful. And I think that is key. We are preparing students to be successful. And I can speak wholeheartedly that Dr. Holmes, Dr. Wallace, and Ms. Ratliff do an absolutely fantastic job of preparing our students. It is like any other program you're going to be part of. The hands-on aspects are just fantastic. The equipment that we have, the labs are unbelievable. We have people from all over we had the Surgeon General come and her mouth dropped when she saw our lab about how amazing it was. So we really do offer fantastic opportunities for students, and they really do a fantastic job of building these students up to be fantastic clinicians. It's amazing to see, to walk into Dr. Wallace's class doing a lab, and these students are talking about things I learned in college. And then to go into Adrian's class and to see them literally performing skills. And then really Dr. Holmes, Dr. Holmes is like the foundational person. If you need them to be, they're getting those skills. So Adrian relies on Dr. Holmes to make sure those kids are ready to rock and roll once they get into the 11th and 12th grade. So again, absolutely hats off to our fantastic teachers. I will tell you on behalf of Ms. Snyder and myself, they make our job easy to work with, just a phenomenal group of people.
All right, so Imani Morrison.
I think someone answered that question.
Okay, so she is using an older version of Zoom, so I'm going to go ahead and ask for her. And she had the question, which strand, I suppose, would you recommend to branch into surgery?
There's two, I would give you two options, honestly. Definitely the therapeutic, because the therapeutic is I don't know, Ms. Ratliff's smiling. The therapeutic is the hands-on piece of health sciences. So it's direct patient care, and a surgeon is one of the highest direct patient care clinicians in the hospital. But another option that if you want to, surgeons have to be very open to the biomedical piece also. So they can both the biomedical and the therapeutic services strand would work best for the students. It's honestly an open option. Both strands will prepare students to do a fantastic job.
Okay, Connor Moody would like to ask a question, and we've already have one of our students ready to answer.
All right.
So Mr. Moody. You should be unmuted now.
Answer. Yes.
Hey, Mr. Connor.
Hi.
How are you? What is your question for us?
Oh, I was wondering about the criteria for admission into the governor's school.
The only thing that you have to do is to apply for the magnet program. You have to complete the magnet application. And then from there, you are put into a lottery system. And what that means is that we do not pick you. You are selected through the admin building, the Newport News Administrative Building. So they pick the names and they tell us who's been accepted into our program. But you definitely have to complete that application process. I would say if you put down a program from Warwick for both your first and second choice, if you select two of our career pathways, then that doubles your chances of getting into our program.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I will also say, Connor, the earlier you apply, the better your options. So go ahead and, if you're really interested, go ahead and get that application in as soon as possible.
Yeah, we already applied.
Awesome. I hope to see you as a rater next year.
All right. Now we have Stinette Bird hold on just a moment. There we go. All right. If you could ask your question.
Hello. I was wondering, what if you apply to a program and then get in, and then you like don't want to do that program and you like want to switch? Can
It
you?
is okay. You can switch. You can switch. So one of the reasons that you saw that 3 out of those 4 program strands start off in Intro to Health Science is because we know coming in that you might not necessarily know exactly what it is that you want to do. So you start off in that foundational course, and then throughout that year, as you're learning about different health science careers, and you decide, maybe I want to switch over into like the biomedical strand, all you need to do is talk to myself and Mr. Holler and let us know, and we can have you switch for your 10th grade year and beyond.
I know something that we really pride ourselves in doing. So if you do have that, you do your sophomore year come across and you're having to make that decision of which strand or which program do I go into, is during your sophomore year, we have a kind of like a little mini conference. You meet with your school counselor and one of us, and we kind of start planning out what is it that you see yourself doing in the medical profession in the future. And we try to guide you and down that pathway that's going to best meet that future goal. But we do have plenty of students that come in that think they want to go into one pathway and then realize after Dr. Holmes's class that I learned something new. I'm interested in something complete. I'm interested in another health science career, and they're going to opt to do something else. So there's a lot of options. I would say the opportunity is kind of open, and we kind of make sure that we tailor it best to what your ultimate goal is.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Our next question is from Gavin, and Penelope would like to answer this. And I actually, listening to her, I thought, we should ask her to answer this. Okay, so Gavin, if you could ask your question. You should be unmuted.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Gavin, you're good.
All right. I was just wondering, what of the 4 pathways would be best for like a robotic and medical like hybrid kind of career?
Okay, so what I did was I ended up taking the biomedical strand, and thanks to that, I heard the fact that we could do that one job from that could be biomedical engineering. And that's why I am in the government cell science program, and I'm also in robotics, which gives you like 2 heads on. But another thing is that at Gov School, which is New Horizons, you can also take mechatronics or any other technological or engineering type of classes.
I'll also say, Gavin, one of the cool things about the biomedical strand is the biomedical field is actually exploding right now. Christopher Newport University just actually opened up a biomedical major. I think they're in their 2nd year at Christopher Newport as a biomedical major. So the field of biomedical engineering is huge. The options for you are dynamic. It is amazing. It's a field that's literally exploding. And there's a lot. I know Dr. Walsh could even, I think your son, no. Am I wrong on that one?
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, I had a cousin who was,
yes.
I'm sorry, a biochemist, and he did bioengineering also.
So the field is amazing, Gavin. So if you're really interested in the biomedical kind of like kind of combining those 2 things, the biomedical field is definitely the option for you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Biotechnology, research and development. That's what you're looking for on that magnet application.
It's the longest one there.
All right, and Stacy had a question. Stacy, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, could you ask your question?
I'm curious which of the 4 pathways, as many of them seem like they could or should overlap, for someone who would want to get into forensics and diagnostics for criminal justice.
Yes, they do.
I would definitely say again, biotechnology research and development. And Dr. Wallace and Penelope can chime in on this as well. But as I mentioned earlier, one of the first projects you do in that class is you come in and you see the mannequin face down on the floor. Her name is Anna Garcia, and you're really trying to investigate what happened to her. And so you are assessing like the scene. I won't say a crime scene, but you're assessing the scene to piece together the clues and then trying to use that in conjunction with your medical knowledge to figure out what happened to her. So it does tie in the forensics piece into that pathway.
And do you have options or overlapping with other programs that are more on the criminal justice side?
We do offer some classes at Warwick High School. There's a forensics class that students can take also in combination with the biomedical strand. So that's an option that's offered by our science department. So it's definitely an option. And then again, going back to the ABCs, the anatomy piece is definitely huge for science also.
Got it. Thank
There's
you.
also a forensic club, isn't there?
Yes, we do.
Oh,
We have
perfect.
a forensics
Wait, we
club.
do?
And then I will even say like Dr. Wallace will bring, you brought in, was it last year, someone from the Newport News Police Department Forensics Lab?
Yes, yes.
I think
She's-
she also
she
did
was
that 2
the-
years ago.
2
Right.
years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
She
Thanks,
was the
Penelope.
head forensics investigator for the Newport News Police Department.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and I still
And
remember her
We're
crazy
looking at the
stories.
Newport News medical examiner this year, having her come in.
Very cool. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, that seems to be all the questions that we have for this evening.
Awesome.
Thank you all so much for coming. Don't forget to complete that magnet application. It's due by January the 8th of 2021, but I would suggest please do it before the winter break so that you don't forget. If you have any questions or need any more information, don't hesitate to reach out to myself or Mr. Holler. We are more than willing to help you navigate the process or make decisions about what program strand that you want to be in. I would like to say thank you to our teachers, our awesome teachers, and our students, our amazing students. We have the best students in our program. And I hope that you all will join our amazing team next year as 9th graders in the Governor's Health Sciences Academy at Warwick High School. So thank you all for coming and have a great night, everyone.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Good night. Nice to have met you.
Bye.
Yes. Greg, if you would like to reach out to me and just shoot me an email to let me know, please let me know and I will help